Hi, I'm Debbie and welcome to Divine Destiny with Debbie. This is the overview and I am reading for July 28th through August 3rd. Now, I'm going to tell you about my cards. I'm going to tell you about what's going on in the planets per se. We are now in Leo season, but I always want you to remember that these are general readings. They may or may not resonate. Take what you like. Leave the rest, okay? Okay, so the cards I use when I am doing the astrological readings, I will be using my Radleigh Valentine deck, who I use quite often. They really connect with me. I will use my Archangel Tarot cards. I will use my Guardian Angel Tarot cards. I will also use the Inspirational Wisdom from Angels and Fairies, written by Francis Monroe, artwork by Judy Mastriano. Also my Emily Anderson crystal deck. Now we are in, like I said, we are in Leo season. We are entering a full moon that will be in Aquarius. So I will be using the Moonology Oracle cards, and that is by Yasmin Boland. Okay. Now for this reading, I will be using my Waite Rider Traditional Tarot, and I will also use, again, Radleigh Valentine, the Angel Wisdom Tarot. I introduced this a couple of readings back. In one of the main readings, I will use this also. So, I have prayed, I have meditated, I have infused all the decks with Reiki energy. I am a Reiki 3 master teacher, and I have infused them all, and they really feel like they're speaking to me today. But let's go on and see what is going on in the heavens, in the stars, in the planets. I'm going to change over to my website. You know, I do like to go here. I have to take out my this, and then I do need to open it up for you. So hopefully you're seeing this. Let's see. Yep, you should be seeing this. Now, this is, again, the-astrologer.net. This is for Leo season. We have gone through some of our changes. Now, the evening of the 22nd is when the sun entered the home of Leo, but that's also, you know, what was Eastern Standard Time. So in some parts of the world, it could be the 23rd. And we did talk about how Mercury was going to square Uranus, and Venus will be going retrograde on the 27th. We have some changes here. Mercury will be conjunct with Venus, and Mercury enters Virgo on the 28th. So we have some interesting energies with that. We also have then on the 1st, we have Mercury opposing Saturn in Pisces. So that in itself will be, you know, that'll be a little bit on the, that'll be very interesting. Let's put it that way. But the thing that we have now is the full moon will be 9 degrees. It will be a full moon in Aquarius. And so we have all these things going on. So it's just interesting times. Now, if I go to this other one, we can get the time and date, horoscopes.astro-seek.com, and the full moon. This is, again, the Eastern time will be at 2:31 p.m. So a lot of different things going on. Now, what I'm kind of picking up with everything that we're talking about right now, what I'm picking up is actually that there's going to be a lot of information coming through that we may not necessarily like to hear. So it might be one of those times that we're just kind of like, not quite sure I want to deal with this, not quite sure I want to handle this. So it's going to be, I do feel that it's going to be some very interesting information coming through. But I have posted some stuff about Venus going retrograde. There's a lot of emotional cleansing going on with that. So I hope you take a peek at that. Also, I want to do a shout out to Brenda Powers. She did a summary of my overview video, so I really want to thank her. She is into, you know, she does a lot of this type of thing, and I put her website or her link, well, I put her website on that too. So if you're interested in somebody doing summaries like that for you, she's a really good person to contact. Anyway, let's go on. Like I said, I've meditated, I have prayed, I have infused the decks with Reiki energy, but here we go. This is that full moon in Aquarius. It talks about showing the world the real you. And again, I really get this feeling that the information is going to be kind of a, kind of a moody time. It's going to be kind of a sensitive time, but yet at the same time, it's going to be a very bold energy. It's going to be a very bold time for us. So we're going to be kind of, there could be a thing where we are just kind of like, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to believe anything. But yet at the same time, it is Leo season. This is a time to step up and be very bold, very vocal. I do think that Aquarius this is, I know that we have Pluto going back to your sign in January. I think that with this full moon, it starts something very big for you. So be bold, be bold, believe in yourself, have that type of confidence. Now remember, the Galactic New Year does end on the 24th. This is, I guess, with the Mayan calendar. The 25th is the day outside of time. And then we also have the new Galactic New Year starting on the 26th. So a lot of things happening. We have that Lion's Gate opening up. Traditionally, or it's usually like 8/8 that it's supposed to be the fullest. So there's a lot of energy going on. Moody energy, yes. Kind of, when I talked about, what was it? Something opposing Saturn. There's going to be some moodiness. There's going to be some just sense of, like either I hold it back and I don't like myself, or I let it out. I still may not like myself, but I have to speak my truth. Okay, but there's going to be a lot of people that don't want to hear truth. So let's see what we've got going on with this. Okay, I know, sorry if I'm ranting on that. Don't know if that makes any sense to people, but kind of, that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling that moody side. I'm feeling that, that irritating side, that, you're wearing shoes that are just too tight and you got to kick it off, and it's like I either swallow it and I diminish myself, or I let it out, and who knows what's going to happen. So let's see what we've got going on here with our, kind of like what's going on in the world. That I am an intuitive channeler, that I connect with God, Source, Holy Spirit, and I just say, let whatever comes through, come through, that needs to be said. Anyway, and I also ask for mercy and grace. Here we go. So, higher power, Holy Spirit, what's going on in the world? What are we doing in this world? Where are we going with the world? I know full moon in Aquarius, show the world the real you. This really does resonate. And again, like I said, Aquarians, if you've got Aquarians in any part of your chart, you're ramping up. You're ramping up big time now. You're getting ready for that big change over. Here we go. Let's see what we've got. There is a card that has fallen, has flipped over. So let's see. Oh, okay. So there's the card that has flipped. We will pull that out. The Star is all about hope. It is all about wishing. It is all about major changes happening. It's a loving energy. So let's see where we're going with this. But again, it's how do we direct it? How do we use it? Are we true to ourselves? Again, information coming through. We may not necessarily want to really acknowledge, but we have a choice. Everything, when we do tarot and when we do anything like this, we all have choices. You can believe it. You don't have to believe it. Does it resonate? Does it not resonate? Do I go this pathway? Do I go that pathway? It's also being responsible for our own choices, our own pathways, taking responsibility for who we are. This is a real, there's a big shift. Now I know that the North Node and the South Node, I really feel like that's pushing us forward also, in that there is a sense of taking responsibility for who and what we are. Okay, so we have the Star, Major Arcana. This is a beautiful energy. This is about hope. This is about possibilities. This is about wishing on stars. We have a number. Numbers have strong meanings. We have a 10 plus 7, so 17, 10, transitional energy, 1, new beginning, 0, God source energy. 7 is a divine number, divine possibilities, divine umbrella, divine protection. You can add the 1 and 7 together, it becomes an 8, and that's unlimited opportunities, unlimited possibilities. So we have this sun energy, we have these star energy, we have this bright energy shining down. And then what I love about the star is, you see, this is not a dark energy at all. This is not a mysterious energy. This is just right out there. And again, there is this thing about wishing on stars. There is this thing about possibilities happening. So good energy with that. Let's see what else we might have. Now we have another major arcana. So remember, the tarot deck is separated into the major arcana and the minor arcana. The major arcana is more what the universal, the bigger picture type of thing, where the minor, very important still, is your day-to-day energies here. So we have the Hanged Man. Now this is a 12, so we know that the 10, we know 1, 10, but 2 is about choices, decisions, also partnering. 1 plus 2 is a 3. 3 is celebration, creation. It's also the power of 3. Remember, I told you we do have a full moon out there. Many people will do full moon ceremonies, celebrations. I look at the moon as a divine creation, so I use it as a way to pray to my God, source, my Holy Spirit. But it is about a time to release, relinquish, and request. So you remember that new moon to full moon, as it's getting bigger, it is the waxing moon, and that's when you are requesting, okay? New moons bring new changes, new seasons. Full moon is the fulmination. Now, the full moon to the new moon, it gets smaller and smaller. It's waning, so that's when you start to just release and you let go of. The full moon is this time where you can release, release what's holding you back, as I like to say, relinquish what you don't need anymore, and request the good stuff. Now, releasing to me is kind of, what I do when I'm releasing, and I say, again, you use your language. I say, God, take from me, I release whatever is holding me back. You know better than I. I request, or I relinquish the things I know that I need to do. Like, okay, I need to, I don't know, lose 10 pounds or something like that. And then I request grace, I request mercy, I request good energy, good things happening in my life, good possibilities. But now remember, the Hanged Man is about looking at things differently. And I really get the message about the information coming in that's just not going to be, it's not going to really sit well. And we would rather look the other way than really concentrate on or really look at the reality. So I feel like the Hanged Man is saying, come on, pray a little bit, meditate a little bit, but you've got to look at the reality of what you're hearing and measure it yourself. Again, there's a lot of choice energy with this time too. Here we go. Your next card is the 10 of Fire, the 10 of Wands, the 10 of, well, these are the wands, and what else are they called? Okay, I can't remember right now. But anyway, this is a 10 transitional, letting go, transitioning energy. This is a burdensome energy. This is a choice that you have. Do you carry the burden, or do you give the burden up? And again, I kind of see where this could go with both of these. This is the one that there's just too much going on. It's just a harsh energy. But again, we come back to choices. Do we give this burden up? Do we say, hey, I can't hold on anymore. I need to let go of this. So I'm kind of feeling like this is what I feel is going on in the world per se. So it's kind of the world's burden. The world has to come together as this, as a collective in many ways, to give up the burden and to say, I need help. I need assistance with this. So we've got a lot of 10 energy here. So there's a lot of transitional energy. There's a lot of hope. There's a lot of possibilities. We have to look at things, the world has to look at things a little bit differently. There is a burden, but the thing about this 10 of Wands is you are able to ask for help. You do not have to carry it alone. And there can be a point where you just let go. You just let go. But again, this is really about a lot of choices here going on here. Okay, so let's go on with the Radleigh Valentine. And what is this called? The Angel Wisdom Tarot. Again, You know, this was gifted to, okay, gifted to me. All right, that one fell. Now, what we have here, this is what would be considered in this deck. This is what would be considered the death card. Okay, it's a transformational card. It's a big letting go and letting things happen card. It is Archangel Azrael. So something has to end in order for something to begin. We do have some choices on whether we release or we don't release. But again, you know, the world, there's major changes happening right now. Do we see them? Do we accept them? Do we watch them? What are we doing with these changes? All right. So the world is under a major change. Something has to end in order for something to begin. So again, Azrael, this is very, very interesting with this energies here. Kind of, there's something going on here. Not quite sure where I'm picking up with this, but there is something happening. Anyway, maybe you can tell me. So we have a 13. Again, we have that 10. 3 again, celebration, creation, the power of 3. You add a 10, you add 1 plus 3 together, becomes a 4. Stability, organization, and leadership. So now, endings that lead to new beginnings. The need to release situations or people that hold you back. Spiritual transformation. So that's kind of where we're going with a lot of this, isn't it? Do we choose to let this happen? Do we choose to release? Do we keep holding on and struggle? It's always our choice. Everything is our choice, right? To some point. To some point. Sometimes the choices feel like they're being taken from us, but then we even have a choice on do we dig in our heels or do we just go with that flow? Anyway, something's ending in order for something to begin. Time to release. All right, so let's see. Do I need to tell you anything else? Well, I do need to ask you, please, 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 if you enjoy the videos, if you want to keep me coming back, please, and you know, it is important to do this. It is. It really is. Please go down to like, share, subscribe, comment. I would love to hear from you. I am rather caught up right now. You know, July has been a very busy month for me, but you know, I am caught up to the point. But I am also, if you're watching on Rumble, then please Rumble me too. All right, so let's go on, and remember, I will be doing the Astro vids, so please keep watching for those as they come out. But remember, always remember that you are loved. Stay shining and be blessed. Bye-bye.